Well, let's do AM News now. And the NDC and 4 other political parties have sued the Electoral Commission over its decision to organize the upcoming limited voter registration exercise in the Commission's district offices. The NDC and these other parties are asking the Supreme Court to order the EC to conduct the voter registration exercise at the electoral area in addition to the district office. Now, the suit comes on the back of mounting pressure on the EC to vary its plans to organize the registration exercise. Listen to former President John Dramani Mahama, who has been reiterating NDC's demand in a public address.
I wish to add my voice to those who have called on the EC to reconsider its decision to restrict the registration exercise to its district offices only. Acquiring a voter ID card affirms one's right to vote, and access to a voter ID card should be easy and not limited by location. Every Ghanaian deserves the chance to exercise this democratic right. I strongly urge the Electoral Commission to facilitate the registration exercise in all its electoral areas to allow for easy access and a reduced burden on the citizenry in their quest to register. I challenge the Commission to be more transparent with the processes preceding the start of the limited voter registration exercise, the replacement of voter ID cards, and the transfer of votes.
Now, the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, Kojo, has also waded into the discussion, warning a number of first-time voters could be disenfranchised if the registration process is not brought closer to the people. Albert Ahin is the national coordinator of Kojo.
To them there. You might say that there will not be many people, but remember we have had 2 years that we haven't registered people who have just turned 18. So the number might go up a little. So I think the EC has to reconsider its decision, of course, unless maybe the government is saying they would not have funds to give them so they could meet these demands. That some people might not turn up for the registration at all, because I can't imagine somebody coming all the way from the Draft Island to Donkokrum to have registration done. And they will not do it.
Now, NDC MP for Afram Plains North, Betty Crosby Mains, is demanding that the Electoral Commission rescinds its decision to hold the upcoming voter registration exercise in its district offices. According to the MP, so many potential voters in a constituency will be disenfranchised because of its size and peculiar nature. The Afram Plains North constituency is made up of largely island communities, and the MP at a news conference argued the voters may not be able to afford the cost and risk to come all the way to the district office of the EC.
It will surprise you that the cost involved is as close as 350 Ghana cedis to go to, in fact, to travel from Agodeke on the Duja Island to Donkokrum. So any eligible registrant who wants to come and register will have to spend that quantum of money. Some of these challenges are eligible voters, particularly women and children, whom I obviously represent, and young people who desire to enjoy their Article 42 right will have to travel several kilometers by water and road to Donkokrum. For those who cannot make the journey in a day, they have to make arrangements for accommodation and leave only after they have been able to register. This is unpredictable since people will be traveling from all over the constituency across to register, not forgetting that people who do not possess the Ghana card will have to arrange and possibly travel with 2 guarantors to help them to register. Given the above challenges associated with the EC's modalities for the registration, I wish to, on behalf of the people of Afram Plains North, who I proudly represent in Afram Plains, appeal to the Electoral Commission through its chairperson, Mrs. Jane Mensah, to, as a matter of urgency, review the registration modalities for Afram Plains North in consultation with the district inter-party committees by creating registration centers on all islands to facilitate the registration of voters. The deployment of voter registration of the deployment of mobile voter registration units as done by the Electoral Commission in 2020 is another option available to the Commission to consider. I am very grateful for your time and your attention. Thank you very much.
Now, the Director of Tertiary Education at the Ministry of Education, Dr. Yaira Jakaji, has disclosed that only 20% of senior high school leavers gain admission into the tertiary level due to the low number of universities in the country. Dr. Jakaji, who was speaking during a visit by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission to Akumadan to assess the level of work at the newly built Akumadan Local Government University, says there is a need for the establishment of more tertiary institutions to help accommodate more students. And Sabit has more.
It will for the foreseeable future continue to accept only a fraction of applications due to the lack of space to accommodate them. Director of Tertiary Education at the Ministry of Education, Dr. Yaira Jakaji, says only 20% of senior high school leavers gain admissions into the tertiary level, and there is the need to add up to the number of public universities in the country.
Basically, it is a dream of government to open more tertiary institutions to add up to the existing ones. We have the gross tertiary enrollment ratio, which currently stands at 20%. So this means that out of the students that we churn out of our secondary schools, it's only 20% that access our tertiary institutions. One reason is that we don't have much more of these tertiary institutions in the country. So expanding the tertiary education level means that we have to add on to the existing ones we have.
The government, as part of its quest to address this worrying menace, is working towards establishing more universities in some parts of the country. Here in Akumadan, in the Ofinsu North constituency, a Virgin University is currently under construction. Member of Parliament for the area, Augustine Collins in team, who is today hosting a team from the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, is hopeful that the institution, when completed, will help grant access to a number of senior high school graduates.
Today's visits by the team of experts, give a toast to my dream, and with the kind of recommendations that they are given, and I am happy that in no time it's going to be open, and it has been one of the vision of His Excellency the President, because he's churning out graduates from the senior high schools, now made access of senior high schools to every Ghanaian, whether you have money or all that. The next step is how to be able to contain them, give them the training up to the university level, and this university is also going to offer a potential access to a number of students to be able to at least to also get access to training.
He disclosed that his dream of making Ofinsu North a hub of education is on course, as several other educational institutions are in place to help realize that dream.
Indeed, my thinking and vision is to have in the future Ofinsu North becoming one of the hub of education, a citadel of training and all that. So over the years, I've lobbied Parliament and my office to bring a lot of such institutions. We have starting from the Technical Institute, we have one in Kinkers, we have one in Akumadan, and then we have the National Training Center for the National Ambulance.
Mr. Collins Augustine and team further revealed that the establishment of the Akumadan University of Local Government and Development would, amongst other things, boost the economy of the area, thereby providing jobs to the people.
Beyond having this school, there's a thinking behind that. It's going to open up the economy of the place, in terms of jobs. In terms of jobs, imagine one day it opens and about 10,000 people come into this. It's going to have a huge impact.
Dr. Yaira Jakaji, who was impressed at the level of work done, revealed that the facility would meet the Commission's assessment of being a fully fledged university.
For now, I think with a few additions that we have suggested to be added, to be amended, we are sure that once it's done, this place can be converted to a full-fledged university.
Reporting for JoyNews, Anas Sabit.
Well, the Upper West Regional Minister, Dr. Hafiz Ben Saleh, has urged personnel of the National Service Scheme not to be discouraged by the challenges they are currently facing, but to push them to strive to contribute to the development of the country. He spoke at the 50th anniversary of the Remembrance Day in Wa. And JoyNews Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafik Salam was at the flag-raising ceremony and our reports.
Of the National Service and executive members of the National Service Personnel Association, NASPA, were joined by Upper West Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz bin Sali at the conference room of the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council to watch a virtual live show of the national remembrance of the 50th anniversary of the National Service Scheme. Upper West Regional Director of the NSS, Dawusu Daniel, fed through light on the program.
The National Service, we know, started in 1973 by Ignatius Kuntun Achampon. Today, the 7th of September marks the exact day he assented to the decree that established national service. So we know we have lost a lot of heroes, service persons and staff during the day. So we've decided that today we will use the day to remember them and give them some respect.
Dr. Bin Sali recalled with nostalgia his 31 years ago as a national service personnel, which he said has impacted on his life.
I did my national service with the then Ghana Water and Sewage Corporation, Ghana Water Corporation now, and have no regrets whatsoever. I learned a lot, and all the things I learned at that time are impacting in me.
He urged national service personnel in the country not to be deterred by the challenges they are currently encountering, but should spur them on to greater heights.
And this gives you the opportunity to have a feel of what people are doing to make our country a better place for all of us. I will therefore entreat each and every one of you not to be deterred by the challenges, but to be spurred on to give of your best as you contribute to the forward march of our dear country, Ghana.
At exactly 11:45 a.m., there was a flag-raising ceremony at the forecourt of the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council, where a 2-minute silence was observed for departed souls and the sounding of the last post, aided by personnel from the Ghana Armed Forces and the Ghana Police Service. Some executives of NASPA shared their thoughts about the day.
Today is worth remembering because it's to remember all the past NSPs who are dead currently, and today is really a memorable day for us. Thank you.
Are you proud to be a national service personnel? And tell me why.
I'm very proud to be a national service personnel because I'm serving the country, that is Ghana.
So it's good that we also maybe go through history to also know the people that have contributed their quota to support national service. So I think it's a very good initiative that they have given to us.
Though they thank the government for the increase in the monthly allowance, they believe it is peanut that can hold both body and soul together.
559 is actually too small. When you take 559, you go to the market. It will surprise you that you only buy some few tubers of yam and then tomatoes. So it will be good they actually increase it. We heard they've increased it to 715, but then also the 715 have not come yet. It is something we are actually expecting, and we are praying that they send it to us.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Here in Accra, I am Samuel Kojo Brace. Now, Professor Seidu Al-Hassan, the president of the Japan International Research Center for Agricultural Sciences, Koyoma or Samu, has said soil health is an important tool to enhance agricultural production in the savanna regions of Ghana. He said the area is engulfed with lots of challenges when it comes to agricultural productivity, therefore the need for the use of technology in addressing these challenges. The JICA president said this in an interview with the media at a kickoff meeting of the technology establishment for regional adaptive regenerative agriculture in Africa.
project, which was started in April, is aimed at developing a sustainable soil and crop management technology that contributes to improving soil health in wet and dry savanna regions and Africa as a whole. Speaking in an interview with the media, the president of the Japan International Research Center for Agricultural Sciences, Koyama Osamu, said agriculture in the area is surrounded with challenges.
Savannah region has many problems, but the productivity issues, sustainability issues are based on soil fertility. The soil health is so important. We are trying to create the idea of AFRA, Africa-based regenerative agriculture, to enhance soil fertility. But soil fertility improvement is very difficult. It's not so easy. We consider the crop variability, and also the water usage or input controls, like organic fertilizer and so on. So there must be many technologies, small technology, big technology, but the combination is also important. For example, the choice of crops or crop rotations or treatment of crop residue, and also utilization of livestock sector, manure, and water application, or even chemical fertilizer is somewhat needed for some area.
The Director General of the Council for Scientific Industrial Research, Professor Paul Bosu, on his part said the success of this project will help address the challenges of yield and its spillover.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me say that, and I'm sure we are all aware, that in Africa, especially our own country Ghana, farmers work on soils that have very low fertility, and this has led to severe degradation, resulting in low productivity and increasing food prices. That's a main concern. And these days, we are not only talking about productivity and food prices only, we are also talking about the agri-food system in general. How do we grow the food? How do we distribute, store, consume? All those are crucial. They are very, very important. And we believe that the success of this project will help to support the agri-food system for Ghana and especially for the northern regions. It is crucial to develop Afra technologies that can be implemented by smallholder farmers based on a better understanding of the diversity of the natural, social, and economic environments.
The Vice Chancellor of the University for Development Studies, Professor Saidu Al-Hassan, commended the funders and implementers of the project, adding that it comes at a time climate variability is an issue around the globe.
Even our soil is sick, so it needs help. Our soil is sick. Land fertility has dropped. Crop productivity has dropped. So this project, I think, is coming to help improve upon land fertility, human capacity in managing soils, human capacity in producing more crop, so that at the end of the day we can have food security. And this is coming at a time when the globe is talking about climate variability. So it's within that context that this project is so relevant. And I think that I want to commend it too. Because it's not only Japan that is coming, it's not only SAG, it's not Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
And finally, the British High Commissioner to Ghana, Her Excellency Harriet Thompson, has lauded Ghana's parliament for approving a bill that will stop elderly women from being accused of witchcraft. The British High Commissioner said her outfit would continue to support initiatives that will stop the abuse of women and guarantee the rights of vulnerable groups in the Northeast region. She was addressing inmates of the Gambaga witches camp at Gambaga as part of her official visit to the region. Elias Tanko reports.
The British High Commissioner arrived in the region in the company of high-value officers at the Commission. Madam Harriet's arrival in the region coincided with a flood disaster that killed 8 people and destroyed several properties. The High Commissioner was also in the region at a time of increasing concerns about the threat from violent extremists and other security concerns owing to the recent repatriation of some Burkinabe nationals in the region and the escalation of violence in Boko. Her first port of call was the office of the regional minister at the regional coordinating directorate in the capital, Nalergu. The regional minister and his senior staff at the RCC received the commissioner and her delegation.
It's an honor to have a person of your caliber taking time off your heavy schedules to call on the people of the Northeast region. But just to let you know that this is quite a very young region with a lot of challenges in our pursuit for development. It is because of those challenges that the people and the chiefs ask for the region, so that if we decentralize power closer to the people, we may be able to better prosecute our development agenda.
A PowerPoint address of the situational report of the region was then presented to the commissioner and her delegation. The commissioner, while explaining the reason for the visit, extended her condolences to the victims of the recent flood disaster.
I'm sorry to be coming at such a difficult time for this region. My heartfelt condolences, those of my staff, my team as well, on the loss that you have experienced as a result of the recent floods, the loss of life, course, but also the loss of livelihoods.
From the coordinating directorate, the regional minister led the High Commissioner to the Palace of the Traditional Authority in line with the established protocols. Her Excellency, after being welcomed by the Nairi and his elders, said her visit to the region was among others to ensure maximum impact of their work across human and economic development, peace, security and stability.
We recognize that the northern regions of Ghana experience more difficult, more challenging human development outcomes and less economic development than the rest of Ghana.
She added that her visit was in line with her responsibilities to strengthen and move forward the relationship between Ghana and Great Britain.
As the High Commissioner to Ghana from the UK, my responsibility is to strengthen that relationship still further and to move it into the future. For me to be able to do that properly, I need to understand the whole of the country, not just sit in Accra and think that Accra is Ghana.
The Overlord, Nabohaga Abdullahi Mahami Shariga, expressed his gratitude for the visit, but also acknowledged and praised the warm relationship between the two nations.
And that's how we wrap up the news. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Up next is the news review. Stay on.